Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Jay Myrex. I want to thank y'all for joining me again. Today, I want to talk a bit more about Winter NAMM 2016. It's really exciting always when NAMM comes around because it's always an opportunity to see some new technology and some new inspiration always comes from the new stuff that is presented at NAMM. So I'm going to be going to NAMM on Thursday and Saturday of this week. And Thursday is when I'm going to do most of my demoing and playing with new technology. I'm going to be really on the hunt for things that are inspiring both in the software and hardware domain. And I'm going to do a follow-up video probably on Thursday or Friday to just talk about my experiences at NAMM. I want to, talk to you guys about some of the things that I saw cool at NAMM, and also just want to give you maybe some insights into the future of technology from my perspective. Some of the things that I see at NAMM that may be more forward-thinking or may produce some other exciting technology in the future. So I'm going to be following up with you guys on that. I don't plan on doing the whole, tour through NAMM type of video. I've done that in the past, but that's not what I'll be doing this time. This time we're just going to have a conversation about it and just discuss some of the things. And I might have some pictures and things to share with you guys. But overall, I'm just going to report back and let you know what I felt. So, be on the lookout for that. Already, we've seen a few teaser announcements from some companies. So I want to say almost 2 weeks ago now, we got a teaser from Korg regarding their latest analog polysynthesizer. They're going to release the Minilog synthesizer, it appears, which is their 4-voice analog synthesizer, and it looks pretty cool. And actually, I expected that there would be some analog polysynthesizers at this Winter NAMM because that's becoming more of a trendy thing, especially when we talk about affordable polysynthesizers. And I think Roland really kicked off that whole trend in a positive way with this whole boutique series that they created. And I think that was pretty successful for them. And I can imagine other companies following suit with what Roland has done and what Korg is doing now with the Minilog. So I'm excited to see what the Minilog sounds like. I already have an analog polysynthesizer, but it's always exciting to find some new technology that can be used. So I'm going to look at that one and just see what it does for me. If it titillates my ear or whatever, then I might be more interested in getting something like that. Because, all synthesizers have their own unique signature and sound. So another thing that I'm interested in actually was the teaser announcement by Yamaha. Yamaha is coming out with a product that's called the Montage. And the Montage appears to be a new type of synthesizer technology for Yamaha. So I'm excited to see what that actually means because I've been a Yamaha user for a long time. I've owned a Motif ES for over 10 years now, actually, and it's been one of my favorite keyboards to use. And I also had an EX5, and I've used a lot of Yamaha products in the past, so I'm really excited for the future of Yamaha synthesizers. So those are a couple of the things that I'm excited about. I'm sure there's going to be other things that come out during this Winter NAMM 2016 that will probably blow those things out the water. We'll see. So I'm excited about that. And like I said, I'll report back to you and let you know all the things that were exciting to me. So, in talking about all this excitement about NAMM and, new products and, the future of technology and all that stuff, I have a lot of conversations with a lot of my music production buddies, and we talk about things. We talk about, what's exciting. And one of the things that happens with NAMM and NAMM culture in general is that a lot of us that are on the consumer side of things start to get really excited about new updates to software or new types of hardware or whatever else. And the manufacturers also get really excited about NAMM. So what happens usually is the manufacturers push all year or for a certain period throughout the year towards NAMM. So they're developing really hard towards a NAMM deadline. And what generally has been happening especially within the past, 10 years that I've been going to NAMM now, I've seen a lot of products come to NAMM in a state where it's pretty much not fully ready for the public to use. So some features might be implemented, but then some parts of it may be still in beta mode or some conceptual modes. And what happens is the product demonstrator will usually say, well, that part doesn't work yet, but we promise to have this and that feature at a later date. So, we get excited about the promises that the manufacturer has given us at NAMM. But one of the things I'm noticing in the software domain especially is this whole idea of the perpetual beta testing. So what I've noticed is that now, us as consumers, we've gotten used to buying into software titles that are pretty much in a perpetual beta state. So the manufacturer is always promising a new update that's going to give you some new features that are, going to change the game or change the way that you work. And, you get excited about that. But there's a problem with that. There's several problems with that. And I wanted to talk about that today because I think that's a part of the new software culture that has driven some people into places where they shouldn't be going in musically and just creatively. So, one of the issues that I find with this whole perpetual beta testing thing, first of all, is that when you buy a product and you're buying it based upon what the product could potentially be due to software updates, you're putting yourself in a position where you could be perpetually dissatisfied with the state of that product. So you should never buy a software or even hardware for that matter based upon what somebody is promising it will do at a later date. Because the reality is we all work differently. So if somebody promises that A, B, and C features are going to be included within the next few months, but when they finally give you that update, they're not implemented in the exact way that you would have saw fit for your production environment, you're going to be frustrated. And what's going to happen is you're still going to be complaining about what the product cannot do, even though you bought into it knowing that it couldn't do that in the first place. So that's a setup for failure in my opinion. One of the other things that I've noticed about this whole perpetual beta testing and perpetual updating to the latest software is that when you go to update your software, a lot of times what happens is the developers are programming based upon the capabilities of the latest operating system. So what happens is you may have bought a product that worked on your current operating system. But by the time the manufacturer comes with the features that you actually wanted, they may require you to update your entire operating system in order to use those features. So the problem with that is updating your operating system is very dangerous when we're talking about stability in a music production or audio production environment. You don't want to get into a habit of constantly updating your operating system. One of the main issues with that is that when a new operating system comes out, most of the software developers developing for Mac and PC have not had adequate time to test their product and test their hardware or software devices with that new operating system. So when you as a consumer make a quick update to your OS, you're potentially risking the stability of all of the equipment in your studio. All the equipment that is dependent on the operating system. So, we saw that recently with El Capitan, for example. A lot of audio people updated to El Capitan as soon as it came out, and it completely ruined some aspects of their production environment because El Capitan had issues with audio units validation, and some manufacturers or some devices had driver issues and all sorts of different audio related problems that rendered the studio in a state where it was unusable. So for me in my studio, I'm always slow to update my operating system, especially because the operating system is a critical aspect of the stability overall. So, and then, another issue with this whole perpetual beta testing is that you get into a situation where you could potentially be giving yourself a creative crutch. So you buy software and it doesn't do what you need it to do now, but you like the idea or the concept of the technology, so you buy into it. And then months down the line, they being the manufacturer or the software developer, still has not provided you with the features that you wanted for your production environment. So now you have this creative crutch where you're saying, well, I would be getting more work done if this product did A, B, and C. But the problem is you bought into it knowing it didn't do A, B, and C. So you really just bought into the hype of the concept. But now you're giving yourself a creative crutch by saying, I could be more productive if this product actually did what I needed it to do, as opposed to being productive and creative. And what happens is when you're consistently waiting for a manufacturer to cater to your needs, you become a slave to the manufacturer. So you're now predicating your productivity on somebody else's ability to provide some things for you instead of using your brain and your ingenuity and being creative. And that's a bad place to be as a music producer or audio producer or audio professional. You want to be in a place where what you have in your studio are the things that provide you with exactly what you need at this moment so that you can be productive and get the things that you wanted to get accomplished done with more speed or more flexibility or whatever reason you bought the product. But you never want to buy a product based upon what it could potentially do. So, I always recommend, if a product comes out and it looks cool, but it doesn't do exactly what you need and it doesn't work the way that you want it to work now, avoid it. Don't buy it off the top. Wait, because if they are promising that the product will do something in the future, wait until the product actually does what you need and meets all of your prerequisites before you spend your money. Don't go out and buy something and then hope that they actually create the perfect update that's going to change your whole life and make your whole production workflow seamless. Because you may potentially never see that update, or you may get an update that only halfway caters to that need. So I just, I want people to think more. I don't really want to tell you what to do, but I want you to think about it. I want you to think about it and make your own decisions. But ultimately, I do suggest that you think about buying stuff that actually does what you want instead of buying into conceptual technology. All right, so that's what I wanted to address today. Like I said, we're gonna follow up about Winter NAMM 2016 later on, and I'm gonna just give you an update, and we're just gonna keep talking about all the good stuff, man. So I appreciate y'all joining me, and until next time, I just want to tell y'all peace and God bless. And if you want to contact me, feel free to go to my website, www.altruwest.com. All right, until next time.